going to preview will be the Arsenal Brentford. Like we know, we still have to talk about Arsenal. we can't run away from it. The Arsenal Brentford match. Now, I see this game as an interesting match. And why? Because we all know what Brentford did to us. Now, I see them using the same playbook. I see them using the same style, physical football, robust football. And, we have a whole lot of tiny players, especially in the middle and the rest. I see them using that same tactics. And currently, Brentford is beginning to pick form. They've been woeful for a very long time. Currently, in their last two matches, the match against Man City, they were actually very solid. They were very solid. Man City found it so difficult to break them down. The 2-0 was really a disservice to them based on the effort they put in that game. And their last match, they came up with a 0-0 against Crystal Palace. So you could see them turning the tide. They are beginning to pick their form. They're beginning to become solid and beginning to believe in themselves again. And the two teams, actually, they brought in the likes of Brentford has brought in the likes of Eriksen, Jonas from Mitian, Hans Mpogo, and Deji Soton from Nice. Meanwhile, we all know Arsenal had one of the worst generous signings.
Windows.
I don't know what happened. They were floating close to 10 players, if I'm not mistaken, and brought in just 2, and one of them have been sent back on loan. Lino Sosa and Austin Trotsky. Trotsky has been sent back on loan. I don't even know who Lino Sosa is, and I don't know what he's meant to do. But now the question is, do you think Arsenal can actually find this easy? Or based on what happened in the first match, Eddie, do you see a contest here? Do you see Arsenal winning this easily?
So the reports are suggesting that, Brentford are going to be without a lot of first-team players. And I think that's going to play a factor in this game. I think it's almost like the reverse at the start of the season. Arsenal was without a lot of first-team players. Mm-hmm. And we literally rolled out our reserves and makeshift players for that game. And we were, fairly trounced. I mean, I don't think there was any, debate about how well beaten we were in that game. I actually see a very, very different, game this time around. The only player that potentially might, we know he's not going to play is Gabriel Martinelli. Apart from that, Arsenal has, full complement of their players. The one player that had that physical presence, at the back and terrorized Arsenal in that first game was Ivan Toney. And potentially he's not going to be playing in this game as well. So you've got a makeshift Brentford team, going to Arsenal, who feel like they have something to prove. After that backs to the wall win, against Wolves, I think that there is something that Arsenal has got in, and with Lacazette leading the front, I think he will be not a pushover. I mean, Balogun led the front, in that game, against Brentford, and, it's a different class, right? So I fully expect Arsenal to win this game 2-0. I expect Arsenal, to play patient, try to impose their style of play. And I'm really happy to see Smith Rowe come back into the team, because I think we've missed, there's a little bit of guile that Smith Rowe brings, that running at players, that direct, sort of running. We couldn't ask for a better replacement, someone that likes to go at players like Gabriel Martinelli coming back into the side. So I have full confidence against Arsenal. It's a 3 o'clock game. I feel that Arsenal will play as they're supposed to play. And as long as we can keep 11 men on the pitch, I expect Arsenal to win that game.
It's nice you talked about 11 men, because that's going to be the bane of the team for the rest of the season, isn't it? And I mean, talking about Arsenal as well, Face, the fact that Tomiyasu may actually be back in the game as well is going to be a big plus for us, because we will know how much of a reliable defender he has been since he came late last summer, and it's just been absolutely brilliant. Been one of the signings of the season for us, and his calf problem is not a good timing for us at all. We would love him fit for the rest of the season. So if Tomiyasu even comes in back into where he's been doing really well, I think he'll be doing great for us in that game. I hope Tierney has his head on his shoulders properly fixed in, because we're hearing Real Madrid want to get him in the summer. So sometimes it can knock you off balance, because you're thinking, I'm doing great here, and there's a club coming in for me. Your focus is not there. Because Tavares is decent, but he doesn't have the stability and the reliability that Tierney presents for us. So if you get it right at the back, thankfully, Gabriel scored in the last game, so he will be there with White at the back. So if we can get it right there and keep it solid, then of course, going forward, just like Eddie said, we expect Smith Rowe to come in for Martinelli. But also there's Pepe. He could be the joker, you know. He was great at the Nations Cup until Ivory Coast got kicked off on penalties. So you just never know. You just never know. Maybe he'll be the one to come in, or maybe he's got a second half performance up his sleeves to actually really welcome himself back into the team. So it all points to an Arsenal win, honestly. Really
and
does.
could we see the return of Christian Eriksen, you know, into
possibly, yes,
Emirates?
Possibly. But Thomas Frank was saying it may be too soon for him. That he's not quite ready to make his much awaited return yet. But we just can't, I mean, we would be absolutely chumped to bits because, man, in spite of the fact that he used to play for Tottenham and they're not our favorite team in the world,
yeah,
we all still love a good player. And
okay. We're going to round up with our predictions for the matches for the week. And I'll be asking both of you what you think. And I'll also be giving my prediction. Now I'll start with West Ham Newcastle. Femi, what are your predictions? We need to make it short this time around. Just your prediction.
I think West Ham have been brilliant at home. They're in the top four. But the only thing I see there with Newcastle is the fact that they've got renewed optimism. So for once, I think they may come in and actually get a draw. So I see a 1-1 result there. West Ham 1, Newcastle 1.
Eddie?
I'm going with a Newcastle win. I like what they're doing. You know,
he used to live in Newcastle as well, so
I like what they're going. You know, what they're doing right now. So I go 2-1 to Newcastle.
Okay, for me, I want to go with a 2-2 draw. West Ham sometimes can be very unreliable. When you expect them to win, they actually disappoint you. And I see the ascendancy in Newcastle. I see what they're doing. They are gradually up there, trying to be solid. So I see a 2-2 draw for that match for me. So the next match will be Arsenal-Brentford. We've already discussed this in length, so let's just give our prediction on this. Femi?
Well, for me, again, I'm going to back Arsenal all the way. I hope for a 2-0 win. In fact, I'll have a third goal in there just to really, really put it back in their faces because they actually stopped us in our tracks. First day of the season on a Friday night, really, really put us bounce. So I think we should actually go and win 3-0. 2-0 on a good day, but 3-0 on an even better day.
Will you give me a prediction?
I'll give you 2-0. Let's just take it 2-0 and walk away.
What's the prediction?
I go with the reverse as well. I go with 2-0 for Arsenal. Reverse of the first game.
Okay, for me, I actually think this should be a blowout. I see our boys running riots on Brentford, and I'm predicting 3-0 here. So for the next match is Aston Villa, Watford. Femi?
Again, Villa are the stronger team. Watford, they've got the ex-England manager, someone who's got all the experience in the world back. And he lives locally as well. He's a London man, so he would know what to do with the team. He's got all the huge experience you need in the Premier League. He's got a rookie manager, and he managed him for England as well. He used to coach him as England manager, Steven Gerrard. So I think because of the experience of Roy Hodgson, Watford have a chance. But because of the energy of Gerrard, I think Villa may take this one. I see a 2-1 victory for Aston Villa in this one.
Eddie?
I say a 1-0 victory. I think, you know, that new manager bounce always happens for teams. So they're going to be difficult to play, but I think they will succumb in the end. 1-0 to Villa.
For me, I don't see any chance for Watford at all. And I think Roy Hodgson actually has passed his prime. I see decline. I think Watford definitely is going down. I see a blowout, and I see like 3-0 in this match. The next match is Brighton versus Burnley.
So in this one, Brighton, for me, have been the stronger of the two, even though they both start with a B. But Brighton have been braver with their results. So and they're at home as well. They've been absolutely brilliant for the most part of the season. But one thing I know about Burnley is they have a solid backline. Tarkowski is a great defender, and Nick Pope is so reliable in goal as well. So I see a problem for Brighton because of the backline of the Burnley team. So they're not going to get 2 goals, I don't believe. If Brighton nick it, it will be by 1-0. Otherwise, this might actually be a 0-0 ball first. So my mind is telling me, go for the 0-0, because Burnley are not going to score goals away from home, but they're not going to chip in any as well. So I'll take a 0-0 for this one, actually.
I actually go for a Brighton win. You know, Burnley are bottom of the table for a reason. You know, they don't score goals. You know, I can't even remember the last time they've scored more than 2 goals in a game. So I'm going to go for a Brighton lead. So I'm going 1-0 to Brighton.
For me, I see a Brighton win, and I'm going for 2-0. And the reason is Burnley hardly scored. I think they've scored only just 17 goals in 21 matches. That's woeful. So I don't see where the goals are coming from. And Brighton is scoring for fun. So I see Brighton taking this.
They scored at Old Trafford. They scored against United, remember? So don't discount them.
And they scored all their goals at United.
Yes. The next game will be Crystal Palace versus Chelsea.
Well, that's a 3 o'clock kickoff as well. And Chelsea, back from being champions of the world, and the fans are very, very delirious. I've had a lot of them and put it in my face. Love them because my pastor is a Chelsea fan, so I don't mind them winning what they're winning. Would have been so much better if it was Arsenal in that place. But again, if you look at the fixture, the reverse fixture at the start of the season, when Palace went to Chelsea, Vieira was just getting to grips with the Premier League. But since then, he actually knows his job now. And I think Chelsea will be just a little off because Palace have the strength, numbers, they've got the manager now. And I think for once, they will stand toe-to-toe with Chelsea. I can't see Chelsea beating them in this game. Honestly, I see a 1-1 result. So a draw for that one, 1-1.
Yeah, I also go with the draw as well. I'm going 2-2 draw again in that game.
For me, I see a slight Chelsea win. The experience will come in here. Palace will match them. It's going to be a very tough match, but I see Chelsea edging them 1-0. It's going to be tight, but I see Chelsea taking this with 1.